So in this video, basically, oh, what's up? All it's going to be about is just going to be more about me, Meg, and this little man, one of the little girls over there, and then it's going to be a back day as well. So it's going to be how I train, what I train, and what I'm doing when I'm in the gym. But it's going into as well everything to do with me, so my past in training. Sorry Jess, come here. My past in training, everything. So watch it.
How did you start your training?
Well, should I just talk to them? It'd be easy, won't it?
Yeah.
So I started full-time training when I was 11, and that your little phone's in it.
Oh, sorry.
So I started when I was 11, and I started off rowing, but I did stuff before that, so I was like everyone else. I was a swimmer, I was a dancer, I did everything, but when it turned to like 11, it was time for like obviously a different change in sport, and that's when I became a rower, but ignore the accent. I'm from Rochdale, so we're not putting that in it. Yeah, so I did rowing literally all my life, and it was everything. I moved from Rochdale to Salford just to do my different training, because I started with GB Start Camp with my rowing as well. But at 16 I ended up having troubles with my heart, so I was rowing on the lake, which is literally, we'll get her to show you after, and I collapsed in my boat as I was rowing, and from there I got rushed to hospital by my mum, my personal ambulance driver, because she didn't want to wait for an ambulance. Got there, and then turns out I needed heart surgery, so that meant time out of rowing. But obviously the build up of my life, I'll go into it more in other videos, like my training history and whatnot, but because of that it made, obviously had a massive impact on my training. So I tried to go back after this heart surgery after a week, which was stupid, to be quite honest with you, and it set me back really bad. But after that it was just hard to get back into and get to like the level I was at and how good I was. So I moved from that, and obviously I did training for a bit, I just stuck to like weightlifting and everything else, but then it was time to, I just got bored of it. I couldn't just train, I can't just weightlift, can't just do the side that a lot of people try and do. So then I went into boxing and enjoyed getting my nose broke, have my ears bleeding, loved it. But then started what I needed to do and obviously became a PT. I'll talk more about my past career the more comfortable I get into the videos, because it's quite crazy, some stuff I've done. Say I'm only 21, it is a bit crazy to be honest with you, but we'll get into that more. It's like trying to get your audition tape, isn't it? Like, hello, my name is... what else is to talk about? Well, so like my training when I was younger, it was, ignore how I'm sat in this car as well, I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I'll show you the view in a minute and you'll understand why I'm sat up here. But my training, so when I was like 11 to 14, 13ish, it was like 4 days a week. It was hard to say that the age I was at as well, so it wasn't, obviously wasn't easy for what I was doing. And then it got taken up from being 13, 14 to being even to now. So I was training 7 days a week with rowing back then, and that meant like you were covering 20 kilometres in your first session. You'd come in, you'd do a weight session, then you'd do a conditioning session, then you'd go back out and you'd do another 20,000 metres on the water. So it was all a bit crazy, but I wouldn't change any of it. People turn around to me and they'll always say like, do you regret not having like a childhood? Because I spent all my time training, but to be honest with you, I'll never say that I've missed out on anything or anything like that, because that was just my life, to be honest with you. Jesus, tonight. So basically the woman behind the camera, I'll get her to show herself at some point, but she's called Jolene and she's amazing at what she does. So she's editing all my videos, because I'm a sporty person, I'm not anywhere technically involved in this at all. So yeah, Jolene was just asking me about like how I was balancing all my training around my school when I was younger, and it was ridiculous. Like, so I'd literally be waking up in the morning training, going to school, I'd come home, I'd be going to training. So it worked like, whereas all my mates would be out on the parks having a laugh, or like even having a drink and stuff, do you know what I mean? I didn't do any of that. I was literally training, school, training, school. That was just how I was born and bred. But back at home, I'll get her on camera as well, I'll get my mum on camera, so it was basically just me and my mum, and she's put me through everything. She's my inspiration basically, like she's my world. So the sports and everything, I was driven by her and making her proud as well. That was a massive part of it all. Other than that, the only other thing that made it hard, the training in school, was the fact that at 14 I was taking in like 4,500 calories a day. So for someone that age it is ridiculous, but it's what my body needed. And I weigh about 75 kilos now, but back then I was only weighing like 65, and I was probably still the same height. I am tall, but I'm not going to tell you how tall. I was probably still like the same height, but I was weighing 10 kilos less, and I was taking in 4,500 calories a day. So as a kid, that can kind of put into perspective how much and how hard the training was at that age. So it was intense, but it was the best thing I've ever done. Like, it's something I'll look back at and be able to say, like, I did this, or I made this. Like, it's something that I'm always going to be proud of, and more importantly that I'm happy that obviously my mum's proud of. I'm used to being taken the mick out of for it. Like, all my mates are just pains in the backsides, but I love them. But like, they'll always be like, "Are you training again? Are you training?" Which I was. So I didn't go to party, I didn't do anything. I was just always training, which is kind of my life now. So when I got another job when I was like 19, I kind of just, I don't know why I did it, to be honest with you, because I kind of pushed myself away from what I actually wanted to do, which was train and be in a gym all the time. So it was a bit of a stupid decision, but you make your mistakes, don't you, and you've got to learn from them, which is obviously what I did. And then going into personal training, and I've only been doing this for about 4-5 months tops, and this month I've already took on like 26 clients, so it just proves that the hard work obviously pays off, and it's what I'm meant to do. But other than that, I'm just your average Rochdalian. Don't even dare put that in. Hello! Come here. Right. This is my old man, Jasper. Who's that? Who's that? She's gonna go back, you know.
No.
I've had him since I was 7. So he's 14 now, and he's an old man. Who's that?
Oh.
Don't like her, do we? No. Neither do I. This is Tilly. She's a demon. Look at her. What's up? The squirrels. Why is she stood like that? Where's the squirrels? Is he there? Where's the squirrels? Demon, demon.